In this chapter of data analysis and statistics, we'll be talking about sampling distribution. And here in this section, it's all different types of sample that we are going to talk about. So the first one that comes up is simple random sample, which are the member chosen using a method that gives everyone an equally likely chance to being selected. An example of that would be a computer. Computer can choose random selected people and it would be simple random sample. Moving on to our second type of sample, which is systematic sample. Members are chosen using a pattern. Now, for example, would be selecting every other person, like we solve math problems, every other odd, evens. So some kind of procedure is involved. Moving on to the third one. Third one is stratified sample. Now, it is the population is first divided into groups and then members are randomly chosen from each group. Moving on to the fourth one, which is the cluster sample. The population is first divided into groups. A sample of groups is randomly chosen. All members are chosen and are surveyed. It's the cluster example. Moving on to the fifth one and the sixth one at the same time. Fifth one says it's a convenient sample. Members chosen because they are all easily accessible. Now notice that this kind of sample is always used by lazy person because they are all easily accessible. Next one is self-selected sample and are the members that are volunteer to participate. Now let's go ahead and move on to the example. The example is classifying a sample. Basically, we just need to classify the sample. Now the question says that the officials of National Football League, which is NFL, want to know how the player feel about say some proposed change to the NFL rules. They decide to ask a sample of 100 players. Classify each sample. So what type of sample is it? Well, the first question in the whole question is that the official choose the first 100 player who volunteer their option. So since it's volunteering, it's self-selected sample is what's going on in the first problem. Now there's two more problems into this problem. The second is that the official randomly choose 3 players from each of 32 teams in the NFL. Now since they are choosing 3 players out of the whole group, it's stratified sample. Moving on to the third example, which is related to this one, the official have computer generate a list of 100 players from database that include all of the players in the NFL. Now since computer is generating the list itself, so everyone has random probability of getting selected. So that means that everyone has equal chance. So it's simple random sample that is being used in this example.